Hey guys, welcome back to Altaz-Review, where we cover all the latest and biggest gaming news. We finally got some new updates for the Elden Ring DLC, Shadow of the Erd Tree. This time, it's more than just vague sceneries, it's a whole story trailer, full of beautiful animations and narration, which gives a much better look at what we're getting ourselves into. Well, as good of a look as we can get in a game like Elden Ring. But either way, let's take a deeper look at the new trailer. There's a lot going on in the new story trailer, and a lot of it is pretty supplementary to the reveal trailer we got a few months ago. Right off the bat, we got to see a blonde feminine character walk across the fields and pull a veil between light and shadow. Although everyone initially expected this to be Miquella, the lore matches more with Marika's past and how she must have started the Golden Order. The whole scene is pretty eerie, even for Elden Ring. There's two walls of flesh parting ways as they separate the light from a shadowy land, which might just be referring to the shadow of the Erd Tree. It's pretty clear that the story trailer references past events to introduce these characters, as it immediately cuts to the war that took place several years before Marika became queen. Once again, we see the Wicker Man from the gameplay trailer, only this time, there's a whole bunch of them, seemingly fighting on Mesmer's side. I guess that's pretty much expected considering they both have the same kind of flame. And seeing how the Wicker Man was shown as some sort of boss fight in the trailer, it's either gonna be a repeat boss fight like the dragons or ulcerated beasts, or it could just be some big unique enemy, like certain giants or bears we've seen before. Either way, it looks like it's gonna be a fun enemy. I just know it's gonna have a grab attack where it puts you inside the Wicker Man core. But moving on with the lore, we also saw Mesmer's army and how they fight. Mesmer's army seems to follow his style since they all use spears and brutally impale their enemies. It's also pretty interesting how Mesmer's flames have a snake shape and slither towards their targets. Hopefully we'll be able to use that as a spell later on. But let's see how that works. I initially thought the snake flames had something to do with Rykard or the immortal serpent, considering how similar they look and how similar the magic works. But these flame snakes might be something else entirely. In the midst of the battle, we can see a warrior stabbed by a huge coiled blade. Now, this warrior looks kind of like a woman, and seeing the coiled blade makes me think this might be a reference to the Glow-Eyed Queen and her Godslayer greatsword. But we can't really say for sure. We also see a beautiful animation of the lion-haired creature from the gameplay trailer. The lion-haired creature attacks Mesmer but is quickly defeated as Mesmer leaves it impaled on a long spear. And once again, there's more of these creatures, all whom lose against Mesmer. But what that tells us is that this might also be a recurring boss fight. But from the gameplay trailer, it's safe to say this one is definitely a boss and not a random enemy. And it's strange to see that this crazy looking creature is against Mesmer. So whose side is it on? Does it fight for Miquella, the Glow-Eyed Queen, or someone else entirely? And how do we end up fighting it when we're opposing Mesmer as well? I guess we'll find out when we play it. And in the gruesome scene where Mesmer impales his enemies, we get to see the general layout of the new legacy dungeon under the dying Erd Tree. Maybe it will be a mirrored version of Leyndell, or maybe it will match more with the Shadowland theme. Who knows? But in more exciting news, we finally got a real look at Miquella. Sure, it's still just a side profile, but the narration also gives a bit more information this time. Miquella left his Lord Rune behind and he left his body, quite similar to his half-sister Ranni, but not really the same method as he can no longer use his strength, meaning he's either lost his godly abilities or he's just a kind of spirit now. So just how strong was Miquella? Considering his amazing siblings and the fact that his twin is one of the hardest beings in Elden Ring, and even across other games, Miquella might have even been stronger than Malenia if he's being referred to as having blinding strength. But given that he's lost his body and might just be a spirit, that just takes this theory one step closer that Miquella will have the same part as Melina, where he might accompany the Tarnished in this new realm where Melina can't reach. That would fill the gap of your level up companion, and it would make sense since there are several situations throughout the game where Melina no longer accompanies you in the story. But most importantly, Miquella lost his fate, and the question is, what was his fate supposed to be and why did he abandon it? The trailer makes it sound like he was meant for greatness and now he can't reach it anymore. There's still a lot of questions, but at least we got a few answers, because now that we know he left his body, we have a better idea of why there's just a shriveled body in his cocoon. His abandoned Great Rune is spread across the map of the Shadowlands, and kind of looks like the many Erd Tree saplings that had golden seeds to improve your healing flasks. We heard news that the DLC will have a new system in terms of leveling and scaling, which puts aside your rune level so that the new area is more balanced. So maybe going to Miquella's runes will help you survive using the new mechanics of the DLC, like improving healing items or giving you an important level up item. But you're not the only one benefiting from these runes. All the various characters and knights we saw in the gameplay trailer show up together in the story trailer as well, and it looks like they all pledge allegiance to Miquella's Great Rune. So I guess Miquella has other followers in this realm, much like yourself, and it means you might have a few friends in these dark, shadowed lands. It also continues the theme that you're just one random dude among several random dudes. You might be strong, but you're not some chosen one. Depending on the motivations and mental stability of these various characters and the battle against Mesmer's blasphemy, there must be some crazy story implications for the DLC. What does Miquella want to accomplish? What is Mesmer's goal? And what could you possibly do in this land that could be considered a bad ending? I feel like the DLC trailers give so much information, it's actually harder to speculate than it would have been if they told us nothing. In any case, we'll be able to answer these questions ourselves on June 21st. So let's just hang on until then. Once again, we got an information overload on a random Tuesday, but hopefully the Friendly Souls Reddit community will have some great theories for us. Why do we need to beat Morgoth and Malvin first? How will the DLC endings affect the base game? I guess we'll see when we play it ourselves. Let me know what you guys think about this crazy trailer and what other games you'd like to hear about. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Until then, I hope I see you in the next video.